Let's bring in Marc, White House Legislative Affairs Director during the first Trump administration, former Chief of Staff to the Vice President of the United States, and Jonathan Cott, former Comms Director for Senator Joe Manchin. So Congressman Espaillat thinks that he's a great guy. Fetterman, not so much. Listen here.
I'm not a voter in New York City, and so I have no dog in that fight. And everything that I've read on him, I don't really agree with virtually any of it politically. So that's just where I'm at as a Democrat. I mean, so he's not even a Democrat, honestly.
You want to take that on? He's not even a Democrat.
I mean, look, he's not. He says he's a democratic socialist, and that's how he should run, and that's what Democrats around the country should point out. He is not who they represent. The primaries that I'm more focused on are the ones in New Jersey and Virginia. Mikey Sherrill and Abigail Spanberger, that's the blueprint that Democrats should be looking at how to win. He got 400,000 votes in a city of 8 million people where Democrats outnumber Republicans 9-1. I get it. He's exciting. He's a well-spoken guy. He excites people. And look, he's talking about things that Donald Trump talked about. Prices are too high, and he wants to bring them down. His views are way out of whack with the rest of the Democratic Party, and Democrats have to make that very clear.
Let me see if I can read the thought bubble above Marc's head here as you're talking. Seems to say, yes, that's a lot of happy talk, but this guy's going to become the face of the Democratic Party, and that's going to be all over you guys.
100%.
It's not any city in America. It's New York City. He did win the Democrat primary, so you may claim that he's not a part of the Democrat Party, but he is the nominee. And there were plenty of elected Democrat officials who were campaigning for him during the primary. And so I do think it's a reflection of really how far left the Democrat Party has gone today. And I think it's going to be a continuing challenge for them. He may say that it's time to unify the party, unify people behind him, but it's hard to be a unifier when you've called for an intifada against the Jewish people. You've called to abolish NYPD. I think it makes it pretty hard to be a unifying force when you've taken those positions.
So one progressive group, Indivisible, is saying this about Mamdani. The party should be celebrating and analyzing this win as we prepare for the fight of our political lives in 2026 at a time when Democrats have struggled to connect with voters and build credibility. Supporting and learning from Mr. Mamdani's playbook is paramount. Clearly, you're not celebrating, but they're saying this is the playbook. So all of those races that you said you're focusing on, they want you to use this playbook to win those races.
Yeah, the groups like Indivisible are great. They generate, excitement in the base. Our Revolution, those groups like that do that. They don't win. Those groups never win elections in purple or red places. They win in dark blue places where it is very easy for a Democrat to win. Don't get me wrong. When you have a 9-1 voter registration advantage, go ahead. You'll do great. When you have to win in places like Montana, Virginia, West Virginia, it is not easy. So those places are good on generating excitement from the base. But when you actually have to gain majorities in the House and Senate, that's not how you get it. So I'm more focused on what groups like Third Way want to do and how they tell you to win, not groups like this.
But it looks like supporters of Mamdani may go blue on blue here. They're threatening to launch primary challenges against people like Hakeem Jeffries, Richie Torres, Jerry Nadler, Dan Goldman, Yvette Clark. For his part, Hakeem Jeffries not worried about the challenge. Listen to what he said.
I have no idea what these people are talking about. We are going to continue to focus our efforts as we did on the House floor in connection with Donald Trump's one big ugly bill on pushing back against the extremism that has been unleashed on the American people.
Well, speaking of extremism, I mean, the party's moving further and further to the left as people like Jeffries are still the left of center. But there's creeping socialism that would seem to be emerging in the Democratic Party.
I think not just socialism, John. I think, frankly, anti-Semitism. And I think it's a problem that's not just confined to New York City. It's grown among many Democrat elected officials, including in Minnesota. And so I think this is a growing challenge for the Democrat Party. And I think it's one that you're going to continue to see Republicans want to lift up Mamdani as the face of the Democrat Party today.
Yeah. Meantime, Senator Chuck Schumer is saying, hey, everything's great. Listen to what he said.
The bottom line is Democrats are united. We are fighting the high costs that American people pay. We are fighting the health care cuts Republicans are making. We are fighting the horrible bill that they just passed. Democrats are united, and we have been far more united, frankly, than the Republicans.
It's kind of a Democratic Senate version of Baghdad Bob there.
I think he is the leader of the Democratic Party in the Senate, and the Democrats in the Senate are united, as are the Democrats in the House. That is what Hakeem Jeffries is there to do.
They are far and wide across the nation. There is trouble brewing in the heartland.
That is not their focus. Their focus is to unite congressional Democrats, and that's what they're
He's
doing.
He's Senate leader, but he's also a senator from New York.
Yeah.
And so the question will be, will we see pictures of him campaigning side by side with Mamdani?
Yeah,
I wouldn't bet on it.
Or will we see pictures of AOC campaigning side by side with Mamdani against Schumer?
Exactly.
That might be the more likely
It's
case.
2028, long way away.
Thank God for Jonathan. Now this.